So excited, glad that you are here and interested in investing. This is the Investopedia stock market simulator, and I'm here to assist you with one, understanding the platform, why you should begin investing early, and what you need to actually do this in real life once you are old enough to do so. So first, let's get started. What do we already know? We know that when it comes to checking accounts, we need a checking account for our daily transactions, but we also need checking accounts for our direct deposits so that when we are employed, our employers have somewhere to deposit our payroll and or money. Now, when it comes to a savings accounts are used primarily for when you're saving for an emergency fund or you just want to set money to the side, but you also want to gain some form of interest on your money that's sitting there and or a money market savings account. Now, in order to begin buying and selling stock or securities, you would need a brokerage account. So with that being said, in order to begin investing and or buying or selling stock, you need to get familiar with a platform that allows you to do such. Unlike your checking and savings account, the interface is completely different. So let's get started. When you initially log into Investopedia, you're going to be on this page where it says portfolio. What we want to do is we want to get over to the page that says trade. Before we head over there, we want to first acknowledge the fact that Investopedia Stock Market Simulator gives us $100,000 to work with. In this case, we already have a few trades that are open. So with that being said, there's less money available in this one. However, these are some of the stocks that they've purchased over the last maybe couple of weeks or the last month. And then just to give you a quick overview, where you see it says holdings. These are our stocks and our ETFs. Our total value, that's how much these stocks are worth. Today's change, because the market is not open, no changes are happening. And because they have opened this, I believe, since the beginning of March, as of the recording of this video, they've lost $7,000. Now let's just take a look and see where they pretty much lost money. So we lost a significant amount of money in, looks like Apple, and then, oh boy, and then also Tesla, and then also Amazon. But we also have to take into consideration what is happening in the news, which is why this is happening, right? So we have to keep that in mind as well. And this is why we're doing it virtually, so that way when you start seeing all of this red, you don't panic. It's something that you grow used to understanding, like when there are things going on in the news that are often affect our portfolio and the gains that we get, right? So in this case, we are at a loss of 15% on our portfolio, which can be extremely terrifying if you plan on retiring in the next 5 years or the next year, right? But if you can, of course, this is why it's important to begin investing early, is we will recoup this money over time. So this will come back, providing you stay in the market long enough. So let's continue. Again, we're going to click on trade. So now I've clicked on trade. When you click on trade, you have several options at the top, whether it says stocks, options, or status. So with this being said, we're going to click on stock. And I know it kicked out the system. I am retyping it in because it has a timer on it, so it will kick you out of the system. Let's put in this information now, and I'll get us back into the system. And once we click on stock, we're then going to click on trade as well. Okay, we're back. So the system has a timer here. So again, when we first get in, you're going to see something that says portfolio. We're going to click on trade. So let's go ahead and click on trade. When you get to trade, you're going to see the options, stocks, options, and order status. So we want to focus on stocks at this time. Options is something completely different, but what we want to do is, again, familiarize ourselves with the platform. Now, if you're following the instructions, it tells you to put in a symbol, right? So this is the part that says symbol, and the symbol would be, in this case, let's go with NVIDIA. and then it comes up. But if you wanted to, let's say, type in company, you could totally do that as well. So let's say for some reason you didn't know the name, or I'm sorry, the stock symbol for the company you're interested in, you could always type in the company's name. And then once you type in the company's name, it will give you the stock symbol, to which you click on the stock symbol. And then now it's telling you how much this stock is worth. So today, this stock is trading at $108.92. Here's how it has performed over the last 52 weeks. And then here's the chart that we have here. So we see an upward trajectory over the last day. Now, if you want to know about the last year, you must click on year. As you can see, the stock market constantly goes up and down, right? It constantly goes up and it goes down, up and down. So this is why it's important to begin investing early. So that way, if you hit this down stride right here, you can stick around long enough for when it goes back up. All right, so let's continue on. Next, on your instructions, it tells you to click an action. So here's the word action. And in this case, there's several options in the drop down, but we're going to either do buy or sell. In this case, we're doing buy. Then we have to decide on the quantity. So each share of NVIDIA is $108. So I'm going to go with 100 shares. So quantity, 100. Next is the order type. There are, of course, several different order types, so we're going to leave it at market. And then duration. Now, because we don't care when this trade happens, as long as it executes, we can always change this to good until cancel. So basically what this means is if you do day only, that means if I started at 8 o'clock, let's say on a Wednesday morning, I expect you to make this trade happen before the end of the day. And then if it doesn't, please cancel my request. However, because we're using the simulator here, we're going to just put good until cancel. Similar to you having your own brokerage account and own investing account, you do have to wait 24 hours before it is executed. So with that being said, that's why it's just best to put good until cancel. Then we're going to hit preview order. Now with preview order, it's going to go over a few things for you. It's going to let you know, hey, here's the stock symbol you invested in, which is Investopedia. Here's how many you wish to purchase. And then good until cancel, how much each share is going to cost you, $108.92, how much you requested to buy, no commissions in this case. Your estimated total is $10,892. The reason why they call this an estimated total is if the market opens and this sucker jumps up to, let's say, $120, then that changes the estimate, that changes the total on how much the purchase price is going to be. So don't forget, the market is forever changing. So by the time this order executes, it could possibly be way more than what's available here. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and hit down here. You see submit order. If you wanted to change your order for any reason, then of course you hit that one there. But in this case, we're going to hit submit order. And that's it. We're all set. So with that being said, this is your trade confirmation. It'll let you know here. It says buy market order for NVIDIA received. Your order has been received by our system and will be executed shortly. So as you can see, it's not something that happens immediately. And then of course, you can always go back and view your portfolio by going here where it says portfolio. So let's go back to portfolio for a second. And just to give you an idea of what a portfolio is, it's basically a list of all your investments, your trades, your securities inside of one place. So think of a pocketbook that's holding shares of Apple, shares of NVIDIA. And then that is our time. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad that you're willing to participate in virtually investing. This is a safe and risk-free way to do it without putting your own money on the line. And then once you get a hang of it, at least you go in already knowing. Happy investing.